I think it's time for another story from Miss Nilssen. So this book is called The Paperboy by Dav Pilkey. That's the same author who wrote Captain Underpants. And this is actually one of Miss Greta's very favorite stories. Our dad used to read it to her when she was little. So I borrowed this from her. I said, would it be okay if I read this to the scholars? And she said, yeah, that's a special book. You should read it. So this book is called The Paperboy by Dav Pilkey. Morning Star Gazette. That's a newspaper truck, and it looks like it is still nighttime. The mornings of the Paperboy are still dark, and they are always cold, even in the summer. And on these cold mornings, the Paperboy's bed is still warm, and it is always hard to get out, even for his dog. He looks so cozy. Oh my goodness. But they do. His lamp is shining. Still dark outside. It would be hard to leave that cozy room. And softly they step down the quiet hall, past the door where the Paperboy's mother and father are sleeping, past the door where his sister is asleep, and down to the kitchen where they eat from their bowls. The dog has a bowl, and the Paperboy has a bowl. That's kind of fun. And out to the garage where they quickly fold their papers, snapping on each green rubber bands and placing them in a large red bag. When I was little, because Miss Nilssen's kind of old, when I was little, when I would wake up in the morning, there would be a newspaper on the front porch every single morning. And it looked like that. It was all wrapped up. And there was somebody who delivered it every morning. It's hard to ride a bike when you are loaded down with newspapers, but the Paperboy has learned how to do this, and he is good at it. The Paperboy knows his route by heart, so he doesn't ever think about which house to pedal to. Instead, he is thinking about other things. Big things and small things, and sometimes he's thinking about nothing at all. His dog, too, knows this route by heart. He knows which trees are for sniffing. He knows which bird baths are for drinking, which squirrels are for chasing, and which cats are for growling at. What a nice neighborhood. All the world is asleep except for the Paperboy and his dog. And this is the time when they are the happiest. But little by little, the world around them wakes up. The stars and the moon fade away. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is so pretty. And the skies become orange and pink. Oh my gosh. The sun is coming up. And when the Paperboy has delivered his last newspaper, he and his dog race home, and his empty red bag flaps behind him in the cold morning air. Soon they are back home, It is still dark inside, but the sounds of morning are all around. His father and mother are awake and talking softly in their bedroom, and his sister is downstairs watching Saturday morning cartoons. And back inside his own room, the Paperboy pulls down his shade and crawls back into his bed, which is still warm. And while all of the world is just waking up, the Paperboy is going back to sleep, and his dog is sleeping too. Their work is done. Back into the cozy house. Looks like he put his jammies back on. And now is the time for dreaming.